Hello there. So what we're going to go through today is how to build your own Steel Mace Flow. Not copy anybody else's, make your own flow. Right, so before we get into it, we need to make a few definitions to start with. First up, what even is a Steel Mace Flow? What counts as a Steel Mace Flow? Now, to save a flow just being an exercise or a superset of an exercise, it has to consist of 3 or more movements in a continuous fashion. So that could even as simply be, I don't know, a 360, into a ballistic curl, into a rack squat. And then we go again. And that is technically a flow. I do want to also say a difference between flow and free flow. Now, flow is a bit more choreographed, a bit more practiced. You do whatever you do on one side of the body, because all steel mace is unilateral. Whatever you do on one side of the body, you will repeat and do the same on the other. So for example, we could go for an archer and then a ballistic curl. You could do them in order, or you could go archer on one side, archer on the other side, ballistic curl, okay? As long as it's repeated equally on both sides of the body. That is a flow rather than a free flow. Now, free flow is 3 or more movements in a row, but it can be in any order. It doesn't necessarily have to equal each side. And then another definition I'd like to go over is, I say definition, it's my definition anyway, it hasn't been widely accepted yet, I don't know if it's going to be widely accepted, is what I like to call Western style and an Eastern style of Steel Mace Flow. Now, Western style is very strong, very blocky. They like to hit the landmarks, they like to push and always put tension in the mace all the time, very blocky, very robotic, very strong, very muscularly challenging, if that's even a word, muscularly. Very stimulating on the muscles to do so. And when I flow like that, of sort of more Western, what I like to call a Western style, do tend to find that my muscles fatigue before my CV system. It's very hard to keep that tension always in the mace, trying to crush it, pull it, bend it all the time. But for muscle stimulus, that's one of the better options. Then there's also what I like to call the Eastern style, which is very fluid, very smooth, but very mentally challenging. And this is always keeping the mace in motion. It never really stops, and you're always using gravity to your advantage to keep the mace moving round. Conversely to the Western style, it's a little less stimulating on the muscles. However, the CV system tends to get worn out, at least for me anyway, tends to get worn out first before the muscles do. So depending on what path you want to go, you can go down a Western style or an Eastern style, or even blend them both. Now, one of the things about Steel Mace Flow is it's not really a set path, okay? A lot of people get frozen with the sheer amount of choice. So you can do a movement, and then there's almost an infinite choice of what to do next. And I think a lot of people avoid flow because there's not a set pathway. There's not, or at least there's not a set of options of, you do movement A, you can do X, Y, and Z after movement A. It doesn't work like that. You can do movement A and then do whatever you want, okay? But I'm gonna talk to you about how I figure out what the whatever you want part is. Because you've got so many options, do you really want to freeze? And I'll tell you how to do that in a moment, but first, let's go through how I build a flow. First up, I look for inspiration. I pick a movement, just one, maybe 2, that I know I want to be in that flow. Now, top tip, if you can't pick a movement, if nothing inspires you, or you don't know which movement to start with, especially if you're very new, and there's a whole raft of options, start with a 360, okay? Very simply, a 360. That is not necessarily your first movement, but a movement, or a movement that you want to be in your flow. Now, my way of doing it is feeling my way through the flow rather than thinking my way through the flow. That's probably because I lean more towards an Eastern style of flow. It's just the one I prefer. And I do my flow sessions as a cardiovascular session rather than a strength training session. So for me, all I would do is, in this example, I'd go for a 360. We'd do a 360, and then I'd feel, where does the mace want to go? Well, it wants to go in a circle in more Eastern style, so it wants to continue going over. So what movement can we go? We can go 360, straight down into a ballistic curl if we wanted to. Feel it. It might be a movement that hasn't even got a name. Move. It could be a 360 and continue that momentum out into an archer. It doesn't really matter. Feel your way through a flow rather than think your way through a flow. To start with, anyway. There are some little rules, I say rules, there are some little rules I like to do, which I'll share with you. So, if I'm on the spot, like I am now, and we want to do a movement, and we do something, and then we keep stepping out and stepping round, eventually, we're going to either run out of room, or we're just going to keep drifting off. And we want to somehow get back to where we started. Now, that can be, you start off center, you take maybe 2 steps over, and then you've got to figure out how you get 2 steps back, so you constantly stay within a space. Or, pick a spot on the floor, do whatever you need to do, and you've got to figure out how do you get back in the flow before you then repeat on the other side, so then go the other way and come back again. That's the little thinky part, but let's first start with the first few movements where you've got to feel your way through, and then you can think, how do you get back after that? So I like to pick, like I said, I like to pick a movement. For this example, I haven't rehearsed this flow. We could make a new flow right here, right now. Who knows? We'll see. But the one thing I have pre-done is picked the beginning movement, which I want to be a coin toss to Shaolin catch. Now, if you don't know how to do that, I do have a video. You can go and check that out of how to do a little quick, it's like 2 minutes long, of how to do the coin toss to Shaolin catch. Now, like I said, if you're unfamiliar with mace flow, start with a 360. If you're unfamiliar with a 360, learn that first, then move on to mace flow. Right, we've started with Shaolin, a coin toss to Shaolin. Cool. Now what? Well, my feeling, the way the mace head's moving, it's currently traveling down when I catch it. I feel the force going down. It's a bit Jedi. I feel the force going down, so I'm tempted to let my hand continue down and work with that rotation. So we go coin toss to Shaolin catch, and then we catch and unravel. And then my hand catches, cool, finish in a chest rack position. So that doesn't have to be your one and only option. Okay, we could go Shaolin catch, you could go freeze for a bit more of a Western style, and then grab, pivot, and freeze, again, a bit more Western, and we could do whatever. That then brings a bit more of that Eastern rotation and flow back in. It's up to you. There is no set path. Feel your way through the mace rather than think your way through a mace flow. And let's carry on with what I've gone for. So I'm feeling a Shaolin catch or a coin toss into a chest rack position. So let's go through that. So coin toss into Shaolin, rotate under into a chest rack. Now from here, what could we do? We could overhead press, we could archer back out the other way. I'm feeling, again, this rotation, just my personal preference, my personal style, a bit of an uppercut at the same time. Cool, that's pretty much nearly 3 movements there. So we've got the coin toss, 1 into a Shaolin catch, maybe more of a transition rather than a definitive movement. We swoop underneath into a chest rack, there's sort of another landmark position, and then uppercut, cool, there's movement 3. Nice, part of a flow. Now, how do we get from there to another coin toss position, or to return back to the starting position, end up on the other side, so we can do it again? Okay, so this is where most flows are longer than 3 movements, because you've got to figure out how to get back as well. Now let's Let's feel the way through this. What I like to do is just keep going through step by step. So I'll do coin toss, Shaolin, chest rack, uppercut, feel where's next. Now apply a little bit of thought of, I need to get back round the other way. So coin toss, Shaolin, bit of a swoop underneath into a chest rack, an uppercut. Now from here, I'm still feeling that rotation. I might want to pivot through into a mill, and then behind the back pass, I could catch, we could come round, pivot, and back. I'm on the same spot, but I'm not really in the right position. I want to be that way around. Okay, this is where a little bit of thought does have to come in, but you can keep feeling your way through it until you eventually end up in the same spot. Let's try that one again. So, coin toss, Shaolin, round, rack, uppercut. And then, what could we do? We could come round. No, that's not really feeling it. I'm getting blocked. No. Uppercut. And we could sword swing away, round, back, over, boom. I'm now on the other side. Problem is, can I remember that? So, coin toss into Shaolin, round into rack, uppercut, sword swing away, and how did I get back there? So there's one of my problems I always have, is I figure something out and go, shit, how do I get back there? So sometimes it's good to film yourself and watch it back when you have that click moment and can't remember how to do it. So let's see if I can figure that out. Going to a Shaolin, round, uppercut, sword swing away. So there we are, there's that swoop in and back round, back pass, and over we go. Right, let's see if we can do it on the other side. So there, rack, uppercut, sword swing round, swoop, and back pass, boom, back where we started. I'm still on the same spot. You can add more movement to that. You could travel a bit if you want to and play with it. I suggest go through it a few times. Once you've found your sort of flow, how you can get from one end and back and then start on the other side, give it a few rounds, give it a few flows, a few practices. And you'll find your flow will evolve a bit. You might find that actually there's a better way of doing it. So for me, that sword swing feels nice, but then that sort of swoop underneath doesn't. I might find another way of doing that if I was to put more time into it. You might find that that's very upper body. There's not really much leg movement. You might want some leg involvement in that. So we could come from let's do it from this side. So there, and we could step for a lunge into an uppercut, step round, and keep going. That's up to you. There is no set path. Feel your flow. It's your expression of yourself and what you can come up with. And as you practice and learn and use inspiration and drill other movements, you'll add more tools to your arsenal. You'll be able to find your flows get bigger, more complicated. You'll be able to focus on more styles. You might be able to focus on a specifically Western style. You might focus on a specifically Eastern style. You might like to do a nice slow flow. You might want to adjust and play with tempo. It goes. But there's no set path. It's your flow. Hopefully, my explanation of how I build flows is going to be helpful to you and help you discover another form of movement with the mace, or even another form of movement entirely if you've never touched the mace before. Have fun with it. Top tip, if you're going to take anything away, feel your way through the flow. I'll see you soon.